All right, everybody. Welcome to Frightmare HQ. My name is Lloyd Cryer, and I'm here today with the amply, I don't know, you're amply something. Who are you?
Well,
Who is this guy on this screen?
what does that mean, amply? It sounds like I'm a dirty pervert.
That's
So-
it. I was going to say ample
amply.
bosoms or something, but it didn't come out right.
I'm so amply.
You're so amply. What's up, everybody? We are excited to be back for another episode of The Year in Horror. Tonight we are covering 2002. And Charles, it looks like there's some good stuff happening.
2000. You know what? 2002 was a pretty okay year. You know what? I kind of liked it. It was doing good.
Great grumpy grapes.
Yeah?
Yeah, grapey grapes, you know?
Grapely
That's what I'm
grapes.
saying. Grapely grapes. 2002 was a pretty good year. You know what? It's one of those years where you had like 14 really good movies and then like not shit else. You're like, hell yeah, that's a great year. Then you're like, damn, what else though? What do we do for an honorable mentions video? I don't know, but hey, I figured it out, guys. Because
You did.
I put some shit that wasn't very good on the list.
But you know what? I saw something on that honorable mention list that I really liked. So, but we'll get to that in a little
Oh, there's
bit.
a few on there I like.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
later though. That's when we feel nasty and naughty. A little bit later in the day.
When we get down on it. We're going to get down on it, everybody.
Get down on it. Get down
So look,
on it. Dun, 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 dun.
I want
What's
to,
up?
number one, I want to thank all of our Patreon patrons for tuning in tonight.
Yeah, Patreons.
And we want to thank all of those guys, number one, for your support. Your support helps in so many ways we can't tell you, but it really is a lot of help. Patreon is huge for us.
Man, that is our core supporters, guys. If you're one of my Patreons, one of me and Lloyd's Patreons, we love you guys because your guys' contribution is really what's driving this and keeping this going. You know, that is our main source of what we need to keep this going is your guys' contributions, and we love you.
Yes.
And thank everybody for joining us on our Patreon show, which was last Sunday. We had a great time. We gave away
That
some
was
cool
fun.
shit.
We gave away a lot of good stuff. Hendershot says,
that's,
we are the Patronies. You are the
We're the
Patronies.
Patronies. And if you guys want something, it's all in the mail. I made sure to blow a kiss into each one of the boxes. Like this. That's what I did to it. Full of Rona.
That was so lovely of you to do that, Charles.
I know, man. Look at me. I'm like all fancy and stuff, you know.
What
gonna
do you think? Should we say hello? Let's say hello to everybody else. What do you think?
Well, I want to say hello to everybody who's here because I love
Yes.
everybody.
So, Hendershot 555, what is up?
What's
Thank
up,
you.
Hendershot?
Yeah, and thank you for joining our screening the other night. We appreciate that.
Heck yeah, we do.
Sorry, I got a little cough tonight.
Oh, I bet you do.
Cigarettes. I
Wow.
need to quit smoking.
Or maybe you need to smoke more.
That's right. Let's see. Mr. 80s 1224. He says, "What's up,
Okay.
guys? I was 12 years
What
old.
is up?
In this year, the only movie I was to watch, Eight-Legged Freaks only." Awesome, dude.
Well, nice.
Scooby-Dee. That's
Scooby-Dee,
somebody that,
Marcus.
That's somebody we haven't seen in a little while, seems like.
I know Marcus is here with us. I'm happy.
Me too. Baby Blue TX23 is here tonight. Thank you, Cynthia. We appreciate you joining us.
Ooh, Kolchak is on. Whoop whoop.
Boom, Kolchak. Where's he at? Is
Cole-
he on YouTube? All right. So we got a
YouTube.
lot of people on YouTube right now. We got Eduardo Gonzalez,
Hell yeah.
Downtown Travis Brown,
It goes all the way down.
David Dugas.
David Dugas.
Dugas.
Oh, Dugas, you say.
You know,
he's here.
David, you should have never corrected us on that because that's good. It's going to be Dugas from now on.
You know what? This beer is quite Dugas.
It is so Dugas. Stephen Burt is here.
Hurt, making it hurt every day of the week.
Todd Lewis.
Lewis. I am Todd
right.
Lewis.
Let's see. Todd, I'm just going through comments here. Patrick
Comments.
LaGrave is here.
LaGrave.
Thank you for joining us, Patrick. Who else we got? Travis. There's Travis again. Patrick. Chrissy Gilliland.
Chrissy makes you hissy. That's all I got.
She's going to be hosting the Saturday night, right? Co-hosting?
She's hosting. I believe she was doing next Saturday. So that's
it next Saturday?
The 6th.
What
Saturday we've got nobody.
That's what I was going to ask. Who do we got?
It's me.
Nobody.
I get to choose the movie, and I'm choosing something great.
Okay, unless somebody else joins us. Travis. There's Allie. Allie's here.
Oh, Allie. What rhymes with Allie? I need something that rhymes with Allie. Allie.
Bally.
Allie's not Sally. How about that?
Allie's not Sally, and she lives in a hill in Bally.
She lives in a valley.
In Halley. Hey, there's JRE. JRE just joined us.
JRE. Bump, bump, bump.
Awesome.
All right, guys.
So I think that covers all the comments I've seen.
It does.
I think
while we're waiting, everybody needs to hit the like button at the bottom because I only see 4 likes. And we're not going to start the show till we see 10. So, come on.
All right, everybody. Hit that like button. We're holding you hostage tonight.
And
that's the way this is going down.
I'm holding it down so you guys hit 10. And until we do that, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to read something. I'm going to read Wuthering Heights to you guys. All right?
That kind of blew my mind when you said that. I was like, Wuthering Heights? No.
Okay, guys. How many do we have so far? 6. All right. Let me know when we get to 10.
All right.
1801. I have just returned from a visit to my landlord, the solitary neighbor that I shall be troubled with. This is eternally a beautiful country. In England, I do not believe from the air of society a perfect misanthropist. Who gave us a thumbs down? Now it's got to be 11.
Somebody gave us a thumbs down. What?
Travis? Travis! It was you!
Travis, where is he?
All right, guys, we only got 8. I need 2 more likes. Walked in with uttered closed teeth and expressed the sentiments.
Wait a minute. Before you do that, I do see some new folks. I see Jeanette Nolan.
Jeanette Nolan.
JD Smith, Digi Artist.
Digi Artist is not a Widgie Artist.
And No Landing. I'm not sure who No Landing is, but I'm seeing them on Twitch. So we're at 8 likes. All right, look at
9.
this.
Thou'st walked in to the deuce, even the gate over which he alone manifested no sympathizing movement to the words, and I think the circumstances will strain me to accept the invitation. I felt interest in a man who seemed more exaggeratedly reserved than thyself. Chapter 2.
Jeanette, make sure you hit like. Everybody who just joined us, make sure you hit that like button.
We got 11 and no dislikes. All right, guys, we can start the show now.
Boom. Woo! There we are. All right.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to 2002.
I hate doing it that way, Charles, but sometimes it's necessary.
Look, guys, I had 500-600 more pages of Wuthering Heights, and we were going to be here a while.
Yeah.
But now we can start 2000. Hey, we're up to 14. Boom. All right, guys, we can really start now.
So,
and the first one,
we should say thank you to everybody who just liked us, did all those likes. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Stephen Bird said, if we hit dislike, will Charles keep reading? Yes. Yes, I will, sir. I shall read you many chapters from the book of Wuthering Heights.
So, beyond Wuthering Heights, 2002 starts with a great one.
Man,
really great
starts
one,
with a good movie.
Charles.
Hit it.
All right. A socially awkward veterinarian assistant with a lazy eye. Somebody has to be able to guess that. Somebody knows that. And obsession with perfection descends into depravity after developing a crush on a boy with perfect hands. First premiering at the Sundance Film Festival, January 13th, 2002.
Whoop, whoop.
It is the American psychological horror film May, written and directed by Lucky McKee. Who got it?
Ashley Guillory got it.
Awesome. Over on Twitch, JD Smith, Digi Artist, and Mr. 80s guessed it also.
Nice. It's a great movie, guys. I'm glad you guys are familiar with it.
Yes. It's a fantastic movie, and I want to say it's one of the things that got me paying attention to horror again around this time. Really paying attention to it.
Because you stopped for a while. You were like, no.
Well, I don't know that I stopped, but a lot of the late 90s was just like, ugh.
Oh, God. It was like a train wreck.
There just wasn't a lot out there of quality. So, but May is definitely not one of those. May is a fantastic movie. Got some really great acting in it. And, of course, a great directing turn from Lucky McKee.
Yeah, a great job from Lucky on this. And I can remember the first time I saw this movie and how blown away I was by how not only scary but like intelligent this film was. Because this movie never really wants you to understand fully what the hell you're watching. You have to pay attention to it, and it's great. It really is.
Yeah. I remember Jeremy Sisto thinking that he was a great talent, and also Angela Bettis. And just thinking, man, these people are going to go far, and Lucky's going to go far, and they all have in their own way.
Yeah, they've all done sort of stuff after this, but definitely become cult favorites. Angela Bettis definitely has, and Lucky McGee's a great guy, and he does such great work.
And he's still directing,
yeah. So, really, this is a great way to start off 2002. You've got this fantastic movie. This wasn't the first thing Lucky did, but it was close. He did a movie before this called All Cheerleaders Die.
Mm-hmm.
And of course he went on to do a lot of stuff, including one of our Frightmare favorites, The Woman, back in 2011 that Arrow Video brought out finally. We did a special with that. What was that, back in last May?
Seems like it, yeah. Because they're still scheduled to be guests, but yeah, that was going to be Arrow's big rollout at our show was May. So kind of a bummer that didn't get to happen, but we're still going to do something for it at the show.
Always. But definitely a good way to start. And, May was always, it was always a critical favorite. People actually liked this movie. It became more known on video because this movie, if I recall, didn't really come out to theaters like at all. I think it was released, but it was like 10 theaters or something like that.
I can't remember, but it was something like that, or it did a little festival run or something. I'm not really sure, but yeah, I discovered it on home video also. Great movie.
Yeah.
Let's play the trailer and let people see that, and we'll talk about it.
Let's do it, man.
You meet someone.
She's so good in this movie.
She's
But then the more you
incredible.
talk to him, you see parts you don't like.
Everyone always thought May was different.
Jesus, what are you doing?
I remember when she did the show.
Relaxing.
She was like,
Doesn't it hurt?
she was basically like this character.
Crazy
You
bitch.
talked to her. It
But
was like it
really,
was her.
she was
But
just
it was
misunderstood.
crazy amazing
real friend.
that year. That was back when we were at the Omni
Don't do
Hotel,
that.
and
Then,
she hung out with
one
everybody
day,
at the bar
May
and drank with
met
people.
Adam.
And I don't know if she drank or
The
not, but
boy
I know
I
she
saw
hung out at the
today
bar
is
with people.
different.
So what do you do?
And
I work
she was
at
a lot of
the
fun.
She did.
hospital.
When I left for vacation,
She did. I remember
my
her. I
dog
went
had
back down. It
4
was like
legs.
2 in the morning, and she was still down there. I was like, what is she doing? She just
Oh,
hanging out,
really?
having a great
Some
time.
people
Yeah.
think it's kind of gross.
That's what the best guest,
Really?
Yeah, and we had that. Remember, we had that
She thought he
patio.
liked her just
I remember
the
her
way
at
she
one point
was.
hanging out on the patio, and there was a bunch of fans around, and she was just chilling.
This is weird.
You like
He was just chilling. Yeah, we hear a lot of
But
guests say
May's
they
new friend
they always
turned
hang
out
out.
to
A lot of
be
guests will tell us they hang out at Frightmare more than they do
just
than others.
like
And
everyone
we have to
else.
commend our
I'm sorry.
attendees for that because they're always so nice to the guests.
so many
Yeah.
pretty parts.
Make them feel
pretty
comfortable.
holes.
So May decided to make a friend of her own.
I need more parts.
This movie is like, oh my god, it's so astounding though. She is such a great actor.
I love your hands.
You have really beautiful lips.
I love this, and it seriously, like I said earlier, it made me think about horror again and going, okay, somebody's doing, something good in the horror genre again. I think I went out. This is the first time I bought a copy of Fangoria in years when she was on the show.
Yeah. I mean, this is way to do it. I mean, this definitely was a great movie. It's coming soon to video and DVD too. So if you guys are ready.
That's incredible.
But she's so embodied this character that she played. She's there. It was May Dove Kanadi, I think was her name in this. I don't know, but she like embodied that character with the crazy jittery mannerisms she did, and that's why when I met her and talked to her, like I just felt like I was talking to that character because she was very similar, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta step out of the May mind side here. Hold on.
Yeah.
I was like,
well, it's too. It's like I didn't look at IMDb, but it's just too bad we haven't seen her in a while.
Angela, yeah, she hasn't been in much. I know there was a couple of TV shows a few years ago she was on, but nothing I watched. Mm-hmm. I remember seeing her pop up in some trailers, but the last thing I remember watching her in was, I think it was The Woman. It was 2011.
Yeah.
I know she's done stuff after that, but I think it's all been TV show episodes mostly.
Has it really?
Yeah. She's a great actress, though. I mean, I wish I would see her more.
Absolutely. That's what I was thinking, but, it is what it is, right?
And it is what it is. You got to work with what you got. But Lucky has stayed pretty busy. Lucky McGee, the director, has done... I mean, he's been consistently directing since then. A lot of stuff's direct-to-video and festival favorites, but he's got a great eye. And I think I'm kind of sad that he hasn't got more attention from like Hollywood, because I think he has a great eye.
Yeah.
And I think he'd be a great director. Like when they were first talking about doing the sequel to The Shining, in my head I was like, man, Lucky McGee could do that sequel. He'd be really good at it,
Yeah.
Kind of stuff like that. But
I can see that. I can see a Shining remake from him.
I'd like to see him do the prequel about Dick Hallorann, because they're doing that movie Hallorann. Yeah, I'd like to see him direct that. I think he'd be the one to choose out there. So if you're watching this,
if they ever were to make something with the Shelley Duvall character, he could nail that, because his stuff is so female centric. Would you say?
Yeah, I'd give that.
It's cool. So this one you can rent right now, Amazon and Vudu, and no Blu-ray release in the U.S.
No Blu-ray, and what's kind of funny is the only place this has been released on Blu-ray is Germany, and there's actually a legit company called NSM Records in Germany that brings out some fantastic Blu-ray releases. They've got a region-free 2K transfer of May that you can order online. I think Diablo League DVD actually is selling it.
Oh, wow.
For like $24, and that's the one you want to buy, because no other version's good of May. Really not.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right. Well, moving on. Started out the year with a bang, and then this one's good too.
This is a great movie. Mm-hmm. A mother and her 6-year-old daughter move into a creepy apartment whose every surface is permeated by water. This was released in Japan, January 19th, 2002. It's the Japanese horror film Dark Water, directed by Hideo Nakata. Of course, they made a remake of this in the U.S. a few years later. Travis got it, Dark Water. But the American remake pales in comparison to this. I love Dark Water. Such a great film. It's deeply disturbing, even though the story is kind of your basic haunted house ghost story flick. It's super psychological film, and I love these subtle, like atmospheric horror movies that don't need a lot of gore to play on like all your scares, and this one definitely does. It's a great movie.
Yeah, I'm with you. I put atmosphere way up at the top of the list for things that work with me. If you can give me a great horror movie with fantastic atmosphere, I don't really even need much of a story.
I mean, same here. If you can scare the shit out of me without gore or jump scares, really, I'm like, oh shit, it's all right. You did a good job.
Right. So
yeah, definitely great movie. Again, there was an American remake of this, but we'll talk about that when it gets to 2005, I think, or 6. I don't know, but Dark Water's great. If you haven't seen this one, I'd recommend watching it. This one's actually on Prime Video, which surprised me. I didn't know this was on Prime Video. But the director of this, if you're not familiar with Hideo Nakata, you probably know his movies and you should watch his movies because he did Ringu, he did Ringo 2, Dark Water, and then for some reason, they got this director to do the American remake, or the American sequel to the Ring 2, which was an absolutely horrible movie. I have no idea how it was so bad.
Yeah.
But, like, I remember when they said his sequel to the Ring, he was doing the sequel to the Ring. And I was like, the guy who made the Ring and Ring 2 is doing an American sequel to the Ring? Okay, it's going to be good. And I walked out of the theaters on it, but that's a different story for later.
And we will be covering that, right?
Oh, Jesus, yeah. I got some thoughts on that movie, but when it comes to Dark Water, wow, man, this movie is amazing. Something you really should watch. The cast in it is fantastic, and it's just really one of those movies that if you're trying to get into late 90s, early 2000s Japanese horror, or want to see all the movies that America remade, then should be at the top of your list. It's one of my favorite Japanese ghost movies that are out there.
Yeah, and a lot of people feel the same way as you do. This one rates very high up on the list. I used to get it confused. Isn't there an Italian flick called Dark Water also?
I don't know.
I thought there was, but...
For the 70s? Is it the 70s? No.
I think it was later.
Wait. It's...
Severin put it out, I believe.
That's Dark Waters.
That's
Waters
right.
with an S.
That's right.
We talked about that when I think it was 93 or 94. That's a really weird... it's a really weird monastery movie. It's a great movie, though.
Yeah.
Which I might add, glad you mentioned that, because I noticed recently that's on Tubi now, and it wasn't on anything when we talked about it. So.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Go
there
Tubi.
You go. Okay. So, Dark Water. Check it out. It's on Prime Video, as Charles said. So, if you've got Prime, you can watch it right away. Next up is one that certainly, I don't know, was born...
Yes.
It's a great movie. It was born of a cultural impact, or it created a cultural impact. I am just not sure which way to classify it. But a special military unit fights a powerful, out-of-control supercomputer and hundreds of scientists who have mutated into flesh-eating creatures after a laboratory accident. Released March 15, 2002, it's the action horror film Resident Evil. Written and directed by Paul W.S. Anderson and starring Mia Jovovich and Michelle Rodriguez. It is the first installment in the Resident Evil film series, which is loosely based on the video game series of the same name, Resident Evil.
Yeah. I love this movie. I don't even care what to say about it, but it's the Resident Evil, though, is honestly a movie that George Romero should have directed. He was supposed to direct Resident Evil.
Yes.
If you don't know the history of that, a German production company called Constantine Films actually bought the film rights to Resident Evil in the late 90s. And after George Romero did a TV commercial for Resident Evil 2, they wanted him to direct Resident Evil. And he even wrote, you can read his screenplay for it. His screenplay is amazing. In the end, they didn't make it because they said there's no way they can make the movie without it being NC-17 the way that he wrote it. And finally, it just went to one of those things where Romero sort of just stepped away and they hired somebody else to do it. And it wasn't even Anderson at that time. For a while, the guy who directed Urban Legend was attacked to direct it. And yeah, he didn't know what he was doing. And finally, we got this movie, which... I would have loved to see Romero's movie if you've read his screenplay for that. If you haven't, you can Google the internet and it's everywhere. But regardless, this is zombie action at its best. It's super fast paced. This movie is never boring. There's always so much going on. And
we had some great music, courtesy of Marco Beltrami and Marilyn Manson.
Yep. Marilyn Manson helped score this one.
He sure did. And I think that's one of my favorite things about this movie is the score. It was perfect for the time.
Score's so great. Score's so great. The score plays so great. You know, I love the score.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you.
Yeah, and you can still go back and listen to the score, and it still sounds great.
Yeah. I mean, it still sounds great. Fits very well. And this is definitely one of the best video game adaptation movies that have came out. The whole Resident Evil series is a guilty pleasure of mine, and they get a lot worse as it goes on. I mean, they get to the point where they're not even any way, shape, or form good, but I still like them.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah. And they put out a few in 3D if you're a 3D enthusiast, like I am.
Like who, Lloyd?
Like me.
Who loves 3D?
Like me. Then you would definitely enjoy the 3D on this. Lots of depth, But I don't think they started. I think that was with part 3, wasn't it? Where they started doing 3D in these.
I don't remember. I think it was part 3 though.
Yeah.
Because part 3 has to be 3D. Come on. Every 3 is 3D.
Every 3 is 3D. Yeah.
But this movie was the perfect movie at the perfect time. It had, like you said, the best score. The cast was all really good. The way it was shot was super influential for other of these action movies to follow it. Everybody tried to copy this movie when they made out shitty movies like Doom. They tried to copy this. And yeah, this is great. I love this movie. And it wasn't recently released in 4K. But the only way you can get the 4K of the first one is if you buy the whole damn box set of all the movies. That's the only way you can get it.
Is that right? Of the first one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The other ones they have like standalone releases of, but this one's not that I recall. And you got to get the whole box set of them.
I did just realize, Charles, that next week we get to talk about another amazing video game adaptation called House of the Dead.
House of the Dead! Yes! The greatest movie ever made! The whole hour, 2-hour show is going to be on House of the Dead, guys.
Yep.
That's it.
And we had Clint Howard in that one.
you. I've been waiting for you, Lloyd.
Yeah, like when you brought that up and how influential it was in video games, I was like, oh yeah, we got to talk about House of the Dead coming
Holy
up pretty
shit.
soon.
And if you, House of the Dead could have been so good. There's such a good premise to that.
I know. It could have been
Why did they
fantastic.
let me direct House of the Dead? It would have been rated like XXX. It would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's so funny.
But yeah, going back, I love Resident Evil. The first one I think is a fantastic film. I love Mila Jovovich. I've always loved her since back in Dazed and Confused and then Fifth Element. I've always loved that girl.
She's got this kind of exotic beauty to her. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but she's so pretty.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. And if I could, she'd be the top of my list of dream guests that we could ever have would be Mila Jovovich. Oh my God. I would shit myself and then die when she got off the plane. I'd be like, oh, gotta go.
Well,
sorry.
You can thank COVID-19, but before COVID-19 hit, she was actually thinking about doing a couple of shows.
Yep.
So
I know.
Do you remember me telling you about that?
Yeah, you were telling me, and I was like, if I have to dance naked for her every night in her room, she's coming. I was like, I don't even care.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
well,
yeah, but great. And this movie it seems very simple, and it is kind of simple, but it's not. They did something great with Resident Evil is they took this video game movie and gave it sort of an original screenplay that was actually really good, and it worked. And it played really well. And the movies following this were not as good, even though, Paul Anderson had a lot of work into them, but this movie is just fantastic. This is a great movie from 2002. One I recommend. If you haven't seen it, you should see it.
Absolutely. Definitely recommend it. And I'm sure a lot of people have seen this. I can't imagine that there are very many people that haven't seen Resident Evil at this point.
Yeah, and I'll tell you guys that there's been a lot of Blu-ray releases of this. This has been released on 19 different versions on Blu-ray, but the 4K of this is absolutely beautiful. It shows how well this was shot.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can, I'd really recommend getting the 4K, even though the only way to get it is on the box set with about 6 other movies that don't need to be in 4K. But this one definitely should. This one was shot on 35 millimeters. So this is a movie that was shot on film, and it definitely is rightful place on 4K. It's beautiful.
Awesome. Is it a 4K or is it actually like a 2K? I can't remember which one.
No, it's actually a 4K. It's a 4K movie, and they they did a 4K scan of the original negative on that when they released the 4K of this. So
Oh, sweet.
it's beautiful. It looks really
I need
great.
to check that out.
Yeah, it's one of those that looks so much better. You know, the Blu-ray's okay, but the Blu-ray is like really feels artificial because you can feel like it's just like trying to upconvert and upconvert. So doesn't look as good as that, like a natural film, like it should.
Right. Well, perfect. That's awesome.
But this isn't streaming anywhere, but you can rent it for $4 on Apple TV and Amazon. There are a lot of Blu-ray releases, like I said. If you want a Blu-ray, I mean, you can get it as cheap as like $7. If you want one of the box sets, there's actually a huge box set that has all the movies in it. That's like $100. And then there's another one that just has like the first 4 or 5, I think. That's also a 4K set. That's like $55, but you have to import that one. So,
Gotcha. All right, man. Well, you're up next, and it's another winner so far.
oh yeah,
So far, we're 3.
we're doing good.
Or we're 4 and 4. We're on number 4, whatever.
This is definitely a high one. A routine military exercise turns into a nightmare in the Scotland wilderness. First premiering at the Brussels International Fantastic Film Festival on March 22nd, 2002. It's the British action horror film Dog Soldiers, directed and edited by the phenomenal Neil Marshall. Such a great director.
Great director, great movie. It was great to see a good werewolf movie for a change.
God, yeah.
And talk about good. It was an amazing werewolf movie.
Oh, it's an amazing movie. Really good blend of horror and like black comedy in this, you know? Really well done.
Absolutely. And the action was fantastic too. I like the blending of the action and just the, you know, them being a group of soldiers, you know, on a training mission is fantastic.
You know, I don't know what happened to Neil Marshall. I loved the first 4 movies that Neil Marshall directed, which was Dog Soldiers was his first movie. Then he did The Descent. And then he did Doomsday, which I actually loved Doomsday. I thought it was fun. Then he did Centurion, which was great. Then he just sort of freaking disappeared. He did a lot of TV episodes. Then he did that shitty remake of Hellboy last year. That's where he came back with. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, that was kind of
happened to
sad.
him? But I remember he disappeared. I heard nothing from him. And then I saw his name pop up on Game of Thrones. And I was like, Neil Marshall? The Neil Marshall? He directed like a couple of episodes of Game of Thrones. And I'm like, what the hell happened to you, Neil Marshall?
Well,
What's
that's
going
not
on?
too bad though, you know. I mean, at least he's, you know, doing something, and that was kind of a high profile project.
Yeah, high profile, but man, he wrote and directed. Like he wrote Dog Soldiers too, and he's definitely a guy who should be a lot more, you know. Really, really smart, intelligent writer. Yeah, but going back to Dog Soldiers, I mean, well executed screenplay. I love that it's all the creature effects are actually prosthetics instead of shitty CGI. You know,
Yeah.
it could have been like I don't know, it could have been something bad, but it wasn't.
Good stuff. Should we check out the trailer real quick?
Oh hell yeah, let's do it.
All right.
We need some Dog Soldiers.
Oh, that's not a trailer. You had a still
That's
image.
good. I got a still image.
That's a
Lloyd.
great still image, though.
Yeah, it's a great shot from the film. Like I said, prosthetics, man. This is a great get up. These wolves look great in this movie.
Yeah. Who did the effects on that? Do you remember?
I don't remember, actually.
Let's look that up.
Let's look that up. Let's see. Who did the makeup effects? It was somebody I don't know. So,
So there you go. We don't know who they were.
special effects makeup artist was Justin Pickley.
Had a $2 million budget, it says.
He had a $2 million budget, yeah. This movie was really highly regarded when it came out, and this is one of those movies that everybody wanted to see when it came out, you know?
Right. Yep.
It I don't know if it got a I don't think it got a it didn't get a it didn't get a US theatrical release. Weirdly enough, it premiered on television, if I recall, on the Sci-Fi channel. What's the first time it ever played in the US? So there's that for you.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, that's
But
not
hey,
a good. That's not a good debut.
What
Right?
are you on? I'm on the Sci-Fi Channel. Oh
Yeah.
shit! Damn. I'm sorry. What's wrong with the Sci-Fi channels? Well, they're not what you would call good.
All right. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah. Right here. The film first premiered as a sci-fi original telefilm on the Sci-Fi Channel because they bought the U.S. rights to it.
Bummer.
But I know this was Neil Marshall's pet project. Before he was, anybody, he was writing this in the mid '90s, and he really wanted to make this as a film, and it turned out great. If you haven't seen Dog Soldiers, you should watch Dog Soldiers. What's going on in the chat here? Everybody's laughing about stuff.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Everybody's gone crazy in the chat.
They've been talking about
No.
wolfses.
Sexy wolf legs. Those were. Let's see those sexy wolf legs again, Lloyd.
Okay.
Let's see those sexy wolf legs. Oh shit!
He does shave his legs, doesn't he? I didn't notice
Those-
that at first.
Those some bitches are glistening.
Holy
see that?
moly! Yeah, he's like shaved and oiled up, dude.
Ooh. Draped up. He looking good, son.
Yeah, those are some good wear, but that is a great. Besides the legs, that's a great werewolf effect. I mean,
Man.
that's
Those are getting me going.
yeah.
Okay, take them off, Lloyd. I'm sweating.
Jeanette Nolan said mint slip legs.
Those legs are straight. Mint slip.
Mint
Look at those legs.
slip.
Mint. Today on Mint Slip, we're going to talk about legs. Werewolf legs.
Werewolf legs with dog.
Who had better
soldiers.
werewolf legs? Dog Soldiers or American Werewolf in London? You decide.
There you go. All right. Dog Soldiers, great movie, great werewolf movie. What else can we say about it? This is definitely a
It's
highly
saucy.
recommended film.
Where can we see it at?
$3.99 rental on YouTube or Google Play or Blu-ray. Shout Factory put one out. It's
Nice.
$14.99 on Amazon. That came out in 2015.
Man, it's still available. Usually Shop Factory sells out by now.
Exactly.
Well,
Mr. 80 says he wants to know, how do I pick a movie for Twitch watch party? Mr. 80s, if you want to host with us, just message us. You can go to our website, frightmarehq.com, and you can send a message and let us know you want to join in.
yeah,
There you go.
you have to.
All right, Charles, here is another one.
What do you got?
Well, I'm going to tell you what we got. I'm going to tell you.
You can't tell me unless it involves a mint slip. I don't want to hear it.
Oh, it's got some mint slip in it.
Oh, shit. Is it a mint slippy one?
It is. It's slippy and minty.
Oh,
So,
I am super excited.
Everybody's going to guess this one pretty quick.
All right.
A vampire hunter forms an uneasy alliance with the Vampire Council in order to defeat a new species that are feeding on vampires. Somebody's got to get this one. Released March 22nd, 2002. It's the American superhero film Blade 2. This time directed by Guillermo del Toro and starring Wesley Snipes, Chris Christopherson, Ron Perlman, and good old Norman Reedus.
Oh, what can you say about this one? I mean,
It's I don't know. I like this movie a lot. It's fun. But I thought Guillermo kind of, I don't know. You get that
He
Guillermo
phoned it in?
vibe. Yeah, you get that Guillermo vibe on it. Did you think he phoned it in?
I felt like he phoned it. This is not film. This feels like a Guillermo del Toro movie that was made by Guillermo del Toro under the very highly supervision of a Hollywood film company. That's
Yeah.
what it feels like.
Yeah.
It's not,
Because
it feels like they gave him a book that says this is what you can do and you can't do with Blade.
I didn't like it as much upon the first viewing, but going back and watching it, it's definitely a Blade film. It's not that far off. But you just get that Guillermo del Toro vibe in it, which to me means this is going to be long. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to Guillermo del Toro, I think, yeah, this is going to be long.
Yeah, you know, I rewatched this one recently, and it's not a horrible movie, but it's one of those that
No, it's not at all.
it's one of those I struggle with because I love the first Blade, and it's one of those where things just feel a little bit different, and that throws me off.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is like
The tone
when
is
the
different.
the tone's different, but even like when the vampires die, it looks a little bit different. You're like, well, why does it look a little bit different? It shouldn't look different. It's just little things like that, you know. And I just stuff like that annoys me, and it's got that Guillermo del Toro dark kind of feel to it, but
Right.
it doesn't feel like one of his movies. Like Hellboy is a damn Guillermo del Toro movie. You know, that's
Right.
100% Guillermo del Toro. This movie does not feel like.
Well, you know it's a
Guillermo del
Ron Perlman flick if well, you know it's a Guillermo del Toro flick actually if Ron Perlman shows up. Pretty
And
much.
I can tell you, from having Ron Perlman at the convention, he was not acting in this movie. That is damn Ron Perlman, just like sitting around being an asshole.
Yeah.
Remember when me and him had the asshole off at his table, trying to be as much of an asshole to each other as we could?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
He won, but it was close.
Right.
was
Right.
We literally sat there and was just saying shit to each other, like being mean to each other for like just straight.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. He was like, I like this guy. I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
Both assholes. It works.
Well, you know what? I gotta say, I love all of the Blade movies. Just
Even the
because-
third one?
I even love Blade 3. I don't care.
Oh, shit.
I just
bud.
want to see more Blade. You know, that's all. And I'm sorry, but it has to be Wesley Snipes.
You know what's probably did it for me is the fact in the first movie they killed Udo Kier. And I was like, oh, it's all downhill from here.
Yeah, as soon as Udo was dead.
I feel like Udo should have taken over. Udo should have appeared and been like, I am now Blade, the vampire hunter. I will come and I will kill the vampires in the
Yeah.
day. I am the walker of the daytime. Yes, Udo's here. Okay.
There you go. Well,
That was my movie.
I like Blade 2.
Like it?
I like Blade 3. Blade 1
Well-
is definitely the best of all of them, but I enjoyed all of them. They're fun movies.
One thing you got to give Blade is they never went to space. So
There you
there's
go.
that.
He stayed out of space. There's a good old Wesley again, wielding the sword. Such a cool series. I just love these movies.
Yeah. And I heard, a lot of this trouble in these movies was Wesley Snipes because apparently he was an asshole in these movies. But, I mean, he's Wesley Snipes.
Yep.
There was a short time period where he was thinking about doing conventions too after he got out of prison. But
J.D. Smith, DigiArtist on Twitch, just said, "Can we make Charles's Udo Kier impression illegal?"
you cannot make my Udo Kier impression because I am Udo Kier.
I am Udo.
I am very much an Udo man. You like Udo? Yes. Okay.
There you go. All right, so Blade 2, that is over.
Yeah.
That is done.
Blade 2, Cruise Control.
You can watch that on HBO Max or Showtime, or you can rent it on some of your favorite places like Apple TV, Amazon, and Vudu. And then there's
Okay.
And then
I
there's
didn't say anything.
a Warner Brothers release on Blu-ray in 2012 for about $10. So,
But does it have a mint slip with it if I order it?
it will probably not come with a mint slip at this point in time.
I don't want it.
Richard said, "Can Charles Azudo be a guest at the convention?"
Yes, I will do a convention because I am Udo. I'll sign all the graphs that you want.
Yeah.
Hello.
We will. Allie Tappa says she hopes that we invite him again, and we definitely will. We've been trying to get him on this show.
Yeah.
But communicating with Udo has not proven fruitful at this point. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, that's gonna happen. We're good.
Yeah.
Udo's fun.
All right, Charles.
Udo's one of those people that is just Udo. Like he'll just show up one day. Like it'll be our show, and we won't even invite him. Udo will just pop in and be like, "Hello, I'm Udo.
Yeah.
I've made it." So we'll be like, "Oh shit, it's Udo.
There
There he
you go.
is."
There you go.
All right, I'm gonna do the next one though. This is another good one.
All right, do it, Charles. Do it.
I'm gonna tell you guys ahead of time. This is a great movie that's really impossible to find again. So, a blind girl gets a cornea transplant so that she would be able to see again. However, she got more than she bargained for because now she could see ghosts and mint slips. Mint slips. This was released in Hong Kong on May 9th, 2002. It is the Hong Kong Singaporean horror film called The Eye. Sound familiar? Because yes, America also remade this damn movie like they do.
That's right.
This was directed by the Pang brothers, and this is another.
A lot of people guessed that
film.
one before you were finished, so that's pretty
I
awesome.
love it. That's because everybody who watches the show is freaking awesome. It's not their fault.
That is right. They know they horror.
They know they horror. Whoop 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 whoop. This was also known as Seeing Ghosts. That was the alternate title for it. This has had 3 different remakes, actually. I mean, we talk about the one from the U.S. was 2008, but there was a film called Adhu that was a remake of this. Adhu was made in Tamil, India. If you've never seen the Indian remake of this, oh, it's great. You got to watch it. It's hilarious.
Any singing and dancing?
There's some singing and dancing in there.
Okay.
And
you know what I mean?
there was another one that was a straight horror film made in India. It's in Hindi and it's called Nana, something like that. And that's actually a really good one that most people haven't seen.
Are these official remakes?
Official remakes, yeah.
Wow.
These are official remakes.
That's awesome.
So there's actually 3 official remakes to this, and 2 sequels to this too, on the the Pang Brothers series. So
wasn't one of the posters for this, or was it in the trailer where it showed like the pupil separates and creates 2 pupils?
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. You remember when that happened?
Yeah. Look.
I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. Like what was that Chris Farley? Remember when he did interviews? He would go, "Yeah, you remember that?
You remember that?" I'm like,
that was awesome.
That Veronica Vaughn is one piece of ass. I know from experience, dude. A guy I know, him and her got it. Woo!
Whoop whoop.
I love the Pang Brothers, though, guys. If you're not familiar with the Pang Brothers, they definitely did some stuff you should watch. One of the first things they did is a fantastic crime film called Bangkok Dangerous. Not the one that they remade with Nicolas Cage for some reason, but the original one from the late 90s. It's a fantastic film. And they did The Eye and I 2. And they did the 3rd sequel to this, I believe, as well. They did all 3 of these. Really, really
huge
great.
hit overseas. I know that much.
It was a huge hit overseas. And I make fun of the Nicolas Cage remake of Bangkok Dangerous because the Pang Brothers actually directed that damn movie, too. They directed the Hollywood remake of their own movie, and they made it as shitty as possible for some reason. They were like, I don't care. They're going to give us money. We're going to screw this movie up.
Yeah.
Boom. Nicolas Cage. They're like, yeah.
Awesome.
But this is a great movie. This is definitely around that time where you could definitely see the Asian influence on Hollywood cinema. And The Eye was not even Asian. I mean, it influenced so much. And this movie was super popular. And unfortunately, this movie is like really hard to find. For some reason, how popular this movie is, this has never been released on Blu-ray anywhere.
That's a bummer.
And it was also shot on 35 millimeter, so it would look great on Blu-ray. The only way you can get it is a DVD. The DVD is out of print, but you can sometimes find one on eBay for like $10. That's about the only way you can get it. You can import one from the UK for like $10 as well, if you don't want to wait and try to find one. But this is actually what I recommended for Arrow Video to bring out when they were asking for suggestions, because they brought out a lot of other stuff like Ringu and everything. And I was like, bring out The Eye, because everybody would be so excited that we'd finally get Zhenghua, an actual release of it, you know?
Yeah. Well, hopefully somebody will do it.
Hopefully, because this is a movie that I've always really enjoyed, guys. It's very scary. It's another ghost story, but it is really, really well shot. The acting in it's really good. You know, you can see a little Ring influence in it, but I've never seen a good copy of this movie. I've seen the DVD, which is 480i. It kind of looks like crap. And yeah, I enjoy it. I really do enjoy it. Some of the music in it, I guess the only complaint is some of the music in it is cheesy as hell. It's like horrible music, but I don't know. Not a deal breaker in my opinion.
Perfect. All right, so that is The Eye. Here is another one. Number 7 on our list is another great flick.
What is this one, Lloyd? Is it a good one?
It's fantastic.
I know this one.
Yeah. A nursing
I
home
just
is...
saw.
Huh?
I said I just saw what it was. So I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, you got to know what this one is. A nursing home is plagued by an Egyptian mummy. Everybody knows what this is.
Everybody knows now.
And here's what I love. Plagued by an Egyptian mummy sucking out old people's souls through their assholes. And only Elvis and a black JFK can save them. First premiering at the Cinevegas International Film Festival on June 9th, 2002. It's the American horror comedy Bubba Ho-tep, directed by Don Coscarelli and starring Bruce Campbell as Elvis Presley and Ozzie Davis as Jack, a black man who claims to be John F. Kennedy, explaining that he was patched up after the assassination, dyed black, and abandoned. That's pretty much it.
This movie is so phenomenally good. It's not even funny. This is about as close to comedic horror perfection as it comes. I don't care.
Yeah, and it's one of those stories that warms your heart, and at the end you're a little bit melancholy, a little bit sad, but everything turned out right in the end. It's just and it kind of is a feel good movie.
Yeah, and I tell you, the opening sequence of this is so fantastic. It's just this internal monologue of this old Elvis sitting in bed, and it's just straight to the point. And I've always told people, I'm like, that is, like, you don't even realize you're seeing like such fantastic filmmaking there. Like, this is Don Coscarelli at his freaking best. I mean, this is so great, and there's so many witty lines in this. There's so much dark humor in this. It's I don't know. There's like a scene where he's talking to the mom, and he's like, "Don't make me use my stuff on you, baby."
Yeah, there's a ton of that. It's freaking hilarious, and I actually went to see this one at the theater at some point when it came out. It was during the theatrical run. It was a very small, limited theatrical run, and my mom was a massive Elvis fan, so I saw this movie was coming, knew about it for a while, and said, I have got to take my mom to see this. It's directed by Don Coscarelli. It stars Bruce Campbell. How can you go wrong? This is going to be a great movie. And it was. It didn't disappoint.
David Dugas has never seen this before, Lloyd.
Well, I'm seeing that Cynthia over on Twitch has not seen it either. And she's asking, is there anywhere we can stream it? Yes. I believe there is.
Where can you stream it, Lloyd?
Let's see. It's streaming for free on Prime Video. If you have a Prime Video account, you can watch it now, or you can rent it $2.99 at most other places. There is a Blu-ray from Shout Factory that came out, and it's $19.99.
I'm gonna put this out there, guys. I think this needs to be our Saturday movie on Prime Video. I'm putting it out there.
I would gladly watch Bubba Ho-tep again. Fantastic. Yeah. We've got a trailer. Let's talk about it while
let's do it.
This trailer's great.
It's a great trailer. And I like this. I like the score in this. And the score was done by a guy named Brian Taylor, who's not known for. I guess he's known a lot now, but he went on to do these little movies called The Avengers, and he scored a movie nobody ever saw called Fast and Furious 7 and 8. Nobody ever saw those, So.
Yeah. It's just so great, and I love how it leaves you at the end. You're not really sure if it was really Elvis or not.
It's just they leave you like you have to do a lot of thinking of this one. You're like, what the hell?
Yeah. But then the bottom line is it's just a heartwarming story.
Feeding on the sleeping.
And I know doesn't Coscarelli been saying he wanted to do a sequel to this for a long time?
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff behind that. Apparently, Bruce he went out there and he started trying to pitch it and get it going, and Bruce said he wasn't going to be involved in this, and so that kind of put the kibosh, because I think they own this movie jointly, don't they?
Yeah, I think it's. I don't know. I know he produced it himself, but I don't know how much. I'm sure Campbell always has a stake in anything he stars in.
He usually does, yeah. So I don't know. I'm not real sure. It was written by a Texas guy, Joe Lansdale, who lives out in East Texas, and that's where this movie takes place too.
They also, we have a cameo from Reggie Bannister in this movie too. So
you do.
You remember that?
Yeah.
If you remember that. He's
one of the retirement home workers, right?
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, Bruce Campbell is the perfect Elvis. it's not right. He's so great in this.
It's pretty good. I will say, you were saying that Reggie Bannister has been at the show. We've had a few people, obviously, Coscarelli and Bruce Campbell, but Bob Ivy, Bubba Ho-tep himself, has also been at the show a couple of times.
Yep. And I think it's crazy that they got Ossie Davis in this movie. You know, this was towards the end of his life. Ossie Davis died a few years after this, but that was such a phenomenally well-known actor. The fact that he got to be in this movie is so not Ossie Davis, but he's so great in this movie. He really is.
One thing that I love about it is there's no actual Elvis music in this movie because it would have cost them a fortune, I'm sure. And so they just kind of play like little snippets that kind of sound like Elvis Presley music. And Bruce is just up on stage going, hey, yeah, So it's a great flick. I saw this at the premiere, the East Texas premiere. Don Coscarelli was there. Bruce Campbell was there, and Joe Lansdale were there, and they signed autographs a little bit before, and it was a fun time. We just lost Charles. What happened to Charles? Well, goodness gracious, we lost Charles. Let's watch that trailer again while we wait on Charles to jump back in here. I don't know what happened. Yeah, everything you see in the background. Oh, here he is.
Oh my God.
I decided to play the trailer again while we were waiting for you to come back.
Look, I'm going to tell you guys that Bruce Campbell as Elvis is so amazing that I got blown away and I got disappeared.
I love this movie.
But this trailer's so good we have to watch it twice. Come on.
They dyed me this color.
They dyed him that color.
They dyed me this
crazy.
Color. Look, guys, that's why I'm white. They dyed me this color about 7 years ago and they left me.
What was the hieroglyphs that he carved on the bathroom wall?
I need to watch this again, dude. I haven't seen this in like a decade. I really want to watch this again. That's why I said it should be a Saturday movie.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Okay, why don't we pick Bubba Ho-tep and do that this Saturday? That'll be awesome.
That needs to be the Saturday movie. It needs to be Bubba Ho-tep. That Bubba Ho-tep. Yeah. So great movie, guys. Highly recommend if you haven't seen it. It's just a fun movie. It's a fantasy. It's a horror movie, but it definitely borders on comedy fantasy too a lot. And Ossie Davis as the Black JFK is one of my favorite characters. He's so great in this.
Yeah.
They dyed me and they left me.
Todd Lewis said he actually prefers this performance from Bruce over Ash. And I got to tell you, he's pretty dead on. I mean, it's a great performance. It really is.
He's great in this. This is really fantastic movie. Love this movie. Really highly regarded. Like you said, the time this came out, everybody wanted to see this. This went through a lot of festival circuits and it had a short theatrical release. Then it blew up on VHS. I saw it first on VHS, and one of my friends actually had rented this and said, "All right, we have to watch this movie." And I didn't know too much about it actually, and he said Don Coscarelli directed. And I'm like, Phantasm? All right, we're watching it. I don't give a shit what it is.
Exactly.
Like, let's do it. And of course, we've gone on to meet Coscarelli a few times, and he's a great guy. Really nice guy.
He really is. And 2002, when I met Bruce, he still looked like young Bruce back then. He's looking a little older now. It's not an insult to him. We're all going to get older, but back when I met him, he looked like, Ash. So
he's
that was
definitely
a
he's definitely a silver fox now. That Bruce Campbell.
Yeah,
he needs to stop dyeing that hair. because I saw him with a beard, and I was like, that is a distinguished gentleman.
Oh, yes.
All
All right,
movie,
Charles.
What do we got next?
I'm
guys.
so glad you've got this one. You spared me.
All right, guys. I want you guys to settle down. Okay, I need to set the mood for what's probably the best movie on our list here. Hold on, let me see if this is our mood here. Can you hear that?
Yes.
Spooky. All right, here we go.
This is the one where we slap you over the head with a piece of trash horror movie. Right, Charles?
A killer travels to his hometown to deal with the cast and crew of a reality show which is being broadcast from his old home.
What?
It's July 12th, 2002. It's the American slasher film Halloween Resurrection.
Oh,
directed by
yes!
Rick Rosenthal and starring who? Busta fucking Rhymes. Yes! It's happened!
And what a terrible movie it was. Oh, my God.
This is a good example of something that you should never, ever do in your entire life. Making this movie is...
Oh, but look, I think Jamie Lee Curtis is going to be in it. Jamie Lee Curtis is going to be in this movie. I've got to go see it. Look, she's right on the poster.
David Dugas said my favorite line from this. Trick or treat, motherfucker. The best line in the movie. If I ever saw Busta Rhymes, I'd go up to him and be like, yo, Busta, trick or treat, motherfucker. Like, I'd walk away. He'd be like, do you want my autograph? I'd be like, I don't want your autograph. I just want to tell you that.
He'd probably laugh his ass off. Twitch Nate 81 chimed in and said, start to finish, it's garbage. And I agree.
And here's the horrible part, guys. This was directed by Rick Rosenthal. The same Rick Rosenthal who directed Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2.
Yeah.
An actual good movie. He directed this. I don't know how.
I don't know. This has got to be, a perfect example of studio intervention. Stepping over the line, saying, no, we got to see this and we got to see that. And we want a movie that's hip and fresh. So we want live streams and blah, blah, blah. And you know what I'm saying? We want a reality show.
This movie, you could thank Mustafa Akkad for this movie because, Halloween H2O, which I actually like, Jamie Lee Curtis wanted that to be the end of the damn series. She said, I'm done with this series. This is good. Mustafa Akkad had all these clauses that legally would never allow anybody to kill off Michael Myers so he could keep making movies. That was part of his clauses.
Yeah.
So you can't do this. And Jamie Lee Curtis didn't even want to do this movie, but somehow Kevin Williamson convinced her this was going to be a good movie. He's like, look, this is going to be good. This is what we got going on here, all right? Somehow she was like, yeah, we're going to do this. And then we ended up with this piece of shit.
So I'm looking at YouTube comments, and Kolchak, YouTube just hid Kolchak's message. I'm going to reveal it right now, and it says, where'd it go?
Utter bag of complete wank.
There it is. Yeah, it was an utter bag of complete wank. So they they didn't want to let you say wank, I guess, on YouTube. Nice. Wank is a bad word. Maybe over there in England it is, but over here wank is not really a bad word, right, Charles?
I guess not. But this movie could have been good. I mean, originally, there was some talks of this H2O type sequel having Daniel Harris come back and reprise Jamie Lloyd as an older person. That probably would have been good. Why did we do that? But instead we got this reality show with Busta Rhymes and somehow directed by a guy who was a good director, Richard Rosenthal, who directed Bad Boys and Halloween 2, and he made this.
There you go.
He made this movie.
Yeah,
I don't know what to tell you guys, except this is a good example of don't know whose idea it was to make this movie. It's like, at some point you think somebody would have been like, hold on a second here. What the hell are we doing? It's like, hold on.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on here? He's like, look, guys, I don't know. I'm just trying to make a movie. Busta Rhymes is here. All right.
Yeah. I just want to shoot this and move on with my career.
Even Busta Rhymes says this is good, but I remember interview with Busta Rhymes, and he was like, "Well, I mean, I had the chance to be in a Halloween movie. Who's going to turn that down?" And I'm like, "That's touche." I'm like, "I wouldn't."
Yeah. Yeah.
They could pitch me the stupidest Halloween movie ever. Michael Myers is going to go to space and fly a space shuttle to Mars. I'd be like, "So you saying I could be in Halloween?"
Yeah.
All right.
I'm in.
Shit, I'm in.
It's
I'm
a Halloween movie.
It's a Halloween movie. I'm in.
So let's see. Charles, where can we watch this one if we really want to watch it?
Well, I'm going to tell you guys that if you really want to watch this, it's on CBS All Access, because I got a feeling the Jacuzzi and CBS was like, "We're going to give you a Halloween movie to stream." They're going to be like, "Yes,
Yeah.
get Resurrection." So if you have CBS All Access, you can stream it, or you can pay $4 for some reason to rent it on Apple TV or Amazon. If you really want this on Blu-ray, the only way you can get it is on a triple feature with Curse of Michael Myers and H2O, because that's the only way they could sell it, is by putting it on there with those 3 movies. They're like, here, because nobody's going to buy a standalone of this movie.
No.
If you want a VHS of it, they're about 32 cents. There's a lot of them out there.
You can get a VHS copy
for 32 cents. So, not a good movie, but the one redeeming factor is Busta Rhymes in this, because he is hilarious with his stupid one-liners in this movie. It's so great.
Yeah.
Remember,
I might go back and try
to
watch it again for that.
I've got the Blu-ray, so if you want
I
to
do
borrow,
too.
you can have it. Yeah,
I've got the box
Blu-ray.
set, so.
Oh yeah, the box set. I'm like, I mean, trick or treat, motherfucker. That's my new saying. So,
Somebody said Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter. Where is it? Blah, 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 blah. Or Halloween Resurrection. No contest.
Jesus Christ, Vampire Hunter.
Crazy. Yeah, definitely Vampire Hunter. Okay, so how about we put this one behind us and go on to...
Where's our trash pile at? Okay, guys, this is it right here. This is Halloween Resurrection.
Yeah.
All right?
Let's move on, Charles. We're moving on.
It's gone.
We can't do it anymore. No more
trash.
Resurrection.
It's trash, blood.
So the next one is a return to a good movie. It's goofy, but I like this movie. I like it a lot. 5 college graduates rent a cabin in the woods and begin to fall victim to a horrifying flesh-eating virus. Everybody knows what this is, which attracts the unwanted attention of the homicidal locals. First premiering September 14, 2002 at the Toronto International Film Festival. It's the American black comedy body horror film Cabin Fever, co-written and directed by Eli Roth in his directorial debut, and starring Ryder Strong, Jordan Ladd, and Serena Vincent.
Sean from Boy Meets World in this? Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I'm so excited. Oh my god,
Ryder
Sean.
Strong is in it.
Ryder Strong.
Let's go right into the trailer on this one.
All right.
I like Cabin Fever. It's another movie that I saw in the theater that year.
Yeah.
You've known
Somehow
for a
they've
long
already
time.
remade too. They remade it like 3 or 4 years
I
ago.
know. They just came. They just released it, didn't they?
There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that, right?
I can't remember.
I love Jordan Ladd though. She was a sweetheart when she did the show.
Stay.
She was really sweet. This is a
Well,
good
you gonna
movie
get-
though. I like
gonna-
all the comedy elements in it, and then it goes to the other
Well, that's
extreme, and
funny.
you've got this crazy gore going on in the movie.
Yeah. Eli Roth had actually written this about a decade before. Eli Roth was a production assistant on Howard Stern's movie Private Parts. That's kind of when he got his
Yes.
start. And he wrote it at that time, and for the longest time he tried to pitch it to a lot of studios. Nobody would make it
I'm gonna get it.
because everybody felt that horror was unprofitable. A couple other studios wanted to buy the script, wanted him to change it to be like Scream. Like they wanted it to be like a Scream movie, like I Know What You Did Last Summer and all that. So he kind of held it to himself for a while, and eventually, was able to get it made because he really wanted it to be kind of like Last House on the Left, Evil Dead-ish, and it's been a cult following. People love this movie. The score in it is actually pretty good. The score was mostly done by Nathan Barr. Nathan Barr is a decent guy who did also 2001 Maniacs with Tim Sullivan. He did Hostel Part 2. He does a lot of remakes, but I like the way he does the score. I'll be honest with you, I'll throw it out there. I've never been the biggest fan of Cabin Fever, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah,
I can see
Chef
that.
Dis-
I can see that with you. I can see that
Yeah.
you're not the biggest fan. I can understand that.
yeah.
I love Giuseppe Andrews in this movie. He played Deputy Winston. And,
Giuseppe Andrews. Yeah.
yeah, I loved that guy in this movie. I thought he did a great job. I wish there was more of him out there, but from what I've heard, he's some sort of a recluse or something now. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know I think he was in the sequel to Cabin Fever, wasn't he? Cabin Fever 2.
He's credited there, yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe I'll go back and try to rewatch Cabin Fever for you guys because I've watched it 3 times and I've not liked it, and I haven't seen it in over a decade, and I just don't like it. I don't know what it was about it. There was just so much in it I just struggled with. The way it was structured and the acting I struggled with, and I struggled with some of the scene choices. But I've never been the biggest fan of Eli Roth as a director. I can throw that out there for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I do appreciate what he did with Hostel, but I still wasn't the biggest fan of Hostel. I like him as an actor more. I loved him as the Bear Jew and in Glorious Bastards. And he
was had a
great
cameo in this, and he was pretty good in Cabin Fever.
And he has a cameo in like Death Proof. I like him as an actor because he's one of those people whose face you just really hate. He's just so great at what he does. So
Yeah. Well,
nothing against Eli. I mean, he's done some good stuff for him, but
yeah, and what I think is he's a lot like Tarantino, and they've kind of taken what they love and they've made their own versions of it. And basically that's what Cabin Fever is, because they even have the Long Road, the Last House on the Left theme, isn't it? And the road goes on or something like that. They even use that in this movie. So, it's obvious where his influences came from.
Yeah. Todd Lewis said Hostel was scary because there are very likely places like that in some parts of the world. When I was in Prague for work, I actually stayed right next door to the hostel from Hostel where they filmed it.
That's cool.
It looks exactly the same. But I was like, oh my god.
Wow.
The only thing Eli Roth did that I liked was the damn short trailer of Thanksgiving for Grindhouse.
That
was great. Thanksgiving.
You don't like the old man at the general store?
I don't know. You're the old man at the general store.
The guy that Robert Harris played, the old man with the beard, and he kept talking about, well, I've got some of them Shirley Temple bottles up there. Do y'all want a sandwich or something like that? It's just...
Is that just me? Are you making fun of me?
No, I'm talking about this guy. I thought he was funny. Then the Pancakes kid, I thought that was funny. A lot of funny moments in this movie for me, but it also contrasts that with, some pretty violent stuff going on and gory too. So I liked it.
Yeah. And Eli Roth is, if I'm not mistaken, is sort of went away from horror, hasn't he? Because he hasn't done a horror movie in like 6 or 7 years. He did the Death Wish remake, which I watched. That wasn't good. He did that really weird House with a Clock in its Walls with Jack Black, which was not good.
Yeah, that was a little weird too. I think he's been, he's been trying to break into, bigger films, instead of just doing horror. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's what he does best.
He's trying to go all Stuart Gordon on us. That's what he's doing.
Yeah. Director Borderlands is in pre-production, based on the popular video game. Yeah.
I've heard about that for a while. Borderlands. That could be a good movie, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I think one of the earliest things I remember him popping up in is he had a cameo in Toxic Avenger 4, like real briefly. You could see Eli Roth. That's one of the earliest things I can remember seeing him in.
Yeah. There's another thing that I like that Eli Roth did. He produced the movie Clown, and I liked that movie.
Oh yeah, Clown was pretty good. But what did he do? He was just a producer on it.
I think he was just a producer on Clown. I don't know.
Because he also was I'll give him credit for a producer because he produced Last Exorcism too, which was a pretty good movie.
That's true, yeah. So look, the guy's been busy, but I think he's just trying to break into bigger films, more mainstream type work.
It was a really good movie he produced too, and one of the producers was Haunt from 2019. Haunt from 2019 was a great movie.
Yep.
I thoroughly enjoyed that movie.
Yep. That was a good movie too, so I actually met Eli Roth. He introduced a screening of Hostel in Dallas, and it wasn't even finished yet. They didn't even have the trailer on it yet. Not the trailer, but the credits. They hadn't even completed the credits yet, and he was cool. He got up in front and he talked about Tarantino and how they were friends and all that stuff, and told some stories. But when I first saw that movie, I really enjoyed it. I really liked it a lot. Hostel.
Hostel.
There you go. That's just my feelings. Richard Nettleton said he was in Inglourious Bastard. Yes, that's what he mentioned.
Yeah, the Bear Jew, Donnie. He's so great in that. That's he blew me away in that, because how much I didn't like Eli Roth, and I absolutely loved that character he played in that. He was so great.
Mm-hmm.
You get that for killing Nazis?
Patrick LeGrave also, I've heard this is highly recommended. I haven't watched it yet, but he says check out Eli Roth History of Horror on Shudder, and it's really good. I've heard that too. I need to check that out.
I'll check that out, Patrick. Thank you. I haven't seen that either. I'll have to check it out.
All right, so you got the next one. This is another good one.
Chrissy said Hostel's one of the better torture porn movies. You know what? Chrissy knows about torture porn, guys. She does she does an After Dark called Dirty Torture Porn with Chrissy.
One of the Saw movies had come out right before this, so they were really looking at, as that as being a great sign for Hostel, that it would do really good in theaters. And I can't remember how it did. I think it did well, if I remember correctly.
Hostel did great in theaters. Yeah, it was marketed really well.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we're down to 4 more movies. A journalist must investigate a mysterious videotape that contains nude photos of Lloyd Cryer. And, oh, shit, Lloyd.
Yeah.
But all seriousness, a journalist must investigate a videotape that seems to cause the death of anyone 1 week after they view it. In 7 days.
7 days.
Oh.
Mr. 80's got it.
Yep. Was released October 18th, 2002. Is an American supernatural horror film called The Ring, directed by Gore Verbinski and starring Naomi Watts. It was a remake of The Ringu, a Japanese horror film from 1998. The Ring. Before you die, you see.
So what do you... Did I hear you correctly? Did you say you didn't like this one?
No, I actually like this one.
Okay, I thought you did.
The sequel's bad.
Yeah,
Ring 2 is bad, but the first one's actually really good. And I'll say it's definitely not as good as Ringu, but it is a quality adaptation of a Japanese horror film. This was Gore Verbinski right before he did Pirates of the Caribbean, which shot him up to another level.
Yeah.
I've always been a Gore Verbinski fan. He did a great movie in the late 90s called Mouse Hunt, which is a hilarious movie with Nathan Lane.
Yes, I've seen that.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
It is a good movie.
I've always been a fan of this Ring. I think it's really suspenseful. I think it still was a pretty damn scary movie. It did really well. It's like I said, it's not as good as the original. If you've never seen the original, and you've only seen this one, definitely watch Ringu. But the score is really, really great. The score, it really makes this movie. It helps guide those scenes along. If I recall correctly, the score, I think, was done by Hans Zimmer in this. And Hans Zimmer is probably one of the most epic and prolific composers of the most recent times. I'm a huge fan of this one. How about you?
Yeah, I am. I just remember this thing was a huge hit at the theater, and it blew up. Everybody was talking about it. It made a huge impact on our country culturally too. Everybody was talking about The Ring.
It was like The Sixth Sense. Everybody was talking about this when it came out. Everybody was like, you have to see The Ring.
Yeah.
But I told you, this was one of the ones when it came out, everybody was telling me, you have to see The Ring. I'm like, well, have you seen Ringu? And they're like, what? The Ring.
Yeah.
I was like, Ringu.
Same
like,
here.
What?
Yep.
Ringu.
Yeah, I was trying to spread the word on it. And I was actually surprised that this movie came out as well as it did. I expected another, flop, but it turned out great.
Yeah, it did. I've heard people who don't like this, but I think it's really good. The movie is like an hour and 40 minutes of your just like elevated heart. Like you're like, what the hell's going on now? Like, what the hell's going on? What the hell's going on? And it's really great. And The cast is phenomenal. I mean, Naomi Watts is a fantastic actress. I really love her.
Who else
Martin
we
Henderson's
got?
in this.
Martin
Brian
Henderson.
Cox is in this too. Brian Cox is a great actor. I love Brian Cox.
Mm-hmm.
Martin Henderson's a good actor. You guys have probably seen his face, but he was in a lot of stuff in the 2000s, like Smoking Aces. He was in that, which is a pretty good movie. He mostly does TV now, but he's a pretty good actor. Love The Ring, though. I mean, what's everybody saying? We have any Ring fans who are watching this?
Mr. 80 said, to this day, I consider The Ring with Naomi Watts and the others with Nicole Kidman still my favorite horror psychological films, and I hate all of these other movies that are coming out nowadays. Yeah, it was a great movie. Both of them were.
Todd Lewis, let's see. VHS being hard to find. Now I would be watching a video on YouTube or something. Not a
this one has
David Dugas is not a fan of the Ring movies. David.
Well, everybody's got their own taste.
I
do
really
you like
like
the
the-
Japanese versions? That's the question.
That's a good question. I really liked it. I have 2 copies of it, but I can't find it. The VHS that came out of this that was in like a plastic clear see-through case. You remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to pull it out because that thing's actually really cool. They didn't make a lot of them because they would crack.
Yeah.
Those are fun, and I thought I had one right here, but I don't. But those are cool because it was probably one of the coolest VHS cases that came out in the 2000s.
I have a copy of The Ring, the original Japanese Ring, on VCD at the store.
Uh-oh. Video CD, Lloyd. You gangster.
That's right. Ashley Guillory did say this has one of the best jump scares, the closet scene.
Closet scene. Good job, Ashley. Yeah.
Absolutely. Patrick LaGrave says, I really love the Ringu series.
This is one I went to theaters, a fan of Ringu, and I went to theaters expecting to hate this movie, and I loved it. I was like, wow, that's always a nice, it's always a nice change of pace. A good example of a remake done right,
Mr. 80 said, or was it? No, it's Hendershot. He actually prefers the American version to the original, which is rare. Yeah, you know what? I have people that have told me that they like the American version more.
I agree.
Than the Japanese version.
Yeah, I agree with you. I've heard people tell me that before, and I don't knock people for that. The Ringu is a specific taste. You have to like that slow burn Japanese horror, and some people prefer this because this is a lot more heart pumping, like Americanized styling. And I don't knock anybody if they say they prefer it because it's a great movie, and I can get where people are coming from when they say they like it more.
Yep, absolutely.
I love that poster though. It's a simple poster, but they have this shot that you don't really know what you're looking at until you watch the movie, and you just have Naomi Watts screaming inside the logo is really cool.
Yeah, it is. All right, The Ring, everybody. So
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say The Ring is actually on Prime Video.
Wow.
If you want to watch it. Yeah, I know, that surprised me.
Subscribe now and get, or you can go to CBS All Access. You can go and subscribe there, and you can also watch Halloween Resurrection while you're at it.
Yeah, guys, a double feature waiting to happen, guys. There's a Blu-ray out from Paramount. This is something that I think needs a better Blu-ray release. I would like to see a much better Blu-ray release of The Ring. There hasn't been a big version. I would like to see somebody bring this one out and maybe do a little touch up and resto to it. It's been about 20 years, so it'd be nice to see a good feature. This is one of the 2002. We're getting kind of the end of 35 millimeter. This was shot at 35 millimeter too, and we're starting to get to the end of it. So it. Next up is you, Lloyd. Though we're going to some more Asian stuff here.
All right. Next up, a mysterious and vengeful spirit marks and pursues anybody who dares enter the house in which it resides. Excuse me. First premiering at LA's Screamfest Horror Film Festival on October 18th, 2002. It's a Japanese horror film, Ju-on the Grudge, written and directed by Takashi Shimizu. It is the third installment in the Ju-on series and the first to be released theatrically. The first two being direct-to-video productions.
Yep. Takashi directed those. as well. Takashi directed Ju-on the Curse that we talked about, and Ju-on the Curse 2. Ju-on the Curse being shot on videotape, which is hilarious. He directed all these. Then he went on to do The Grudge, and talk about a movie that had more impact, like most of these movies.
Yes.
The Grudge was really, really, really impactful on the culture, and as well was remade, because we remade all these movies.
Yeah.
You think there was people fighting over which ones they could remake at this time? They're like, "This is mine." No,
Yeah,
this is
I want to
mine.
do that one. Yeah. I believe we have a trailer for this one, right, Charles?
Yeah.
All right, let's get that one up, and let's see what we got here. Ooh, this is a Red Band trailer. It's
It's Red Band,
restricted.
guys. It's restricted for appropriate audiences.
That's right. Lionsgate. We're definitely getting a copyright strike on, not a strike, but a.
Don't worry, we will. I fight with Lionsgate all the time. Lionsgate, I think, has a picture of me up in their office now. They throw darts at.
Yeah. All right, let's see.
The trailer's so good though. I couldn't pass it up.
I don't know if I've. Oh yeah, I've seen this one. I remember this now.
This happens to me 3 times a week. I wake up and this damn little boy is in front of my bed.
Creepy.
I'm
little
like, what
bastard.
now? He's like, I need some water. I'm like, I don't even know you.
What are you doing in my house?
What are you doing in my house? Is Chris Hansen here too?
Yeah.
Oh, bitch.
近くにお化け屋敷があるから行ってみようってお化け屋敷
あの家でまた人が死にました。
No subtitles.
No, you can't have subtitles in this, guys.
亭主
I'm
の
sorry.
佐伯武雄が妻の佳代子を
You
自
don't need
宅
them
で
though.
殺害。
この男の子
It's me and Lloyd peeking people's windows just like that.
At night,
Who's in
yeah.
there?
That's what we.
Is
That's a
that you?
Patreon. It's included in the
夫婦
Patreon.
夫妻の前にも
Yep.
あの家に住ん
One
で
of
い
the
る
Patreon perks, guys.
Yeah, Lloyd and Charles show up at your window and peek in eerily.
Hey, hey. Hey, if you want us to not wear a shirt, that's extra.
Pants is a lot more.
Pants is left.
John.
Two 2003.
Yeah, 2000. Well, technically, it premiered as a festival 2002, and it had its theatrical release January of 2003 in Japan. But you know, it's a scary, creepy movie. It can be a bit comical at times. There's some parts of that movie where you're like, this is ridiculous, but it's still a fun movie. I think it's a really good movie.
Mhm.
Very creepy. I've seen a lot of people who, again, like the American remake of The Grudge a lot better than this one. I've heard that just like The Ring, back and forth. You know, this one's also technically a remake. Takashi did a TV movie that was basically this beforehand, and he basically made The Grudge, but The Grudge is what was known. It's a super spooky film, though. I mean, if you like Ringu and you haven't seen this, you'll definitely like this. This is right in the same lines as Ringu.
Yeah, and this one's easier to watch, right?
Like, to find or to actually get through?
Yes, because the last part of this series was the one that was really difficult to
Ju-on.
find. Yeah.
The first 2 Ju-ons are like impossible to find. This one's actually on Prime Video. Ju-on the Grudge is on Prime Video, so you can watch this one. Surprisingly, there's never been a Blu-ray release of this in the U.S. There was a Blu-ray released by Universal in a lot of European countries, but not here because we're America. We don't need one. The DVD, there's a couple of DVD releases of this in the U.S., but they're not that good. But yeah, it's better than nothing. I'd recommend importing a Blu-ray. But before you even import a Blu-ray, the fact that it's on Prime Video, the Prime Video one is HD and it looks good. So I would just watch it on Prime Video, to be honest with you.
Awesome. There you go. So that's Ju-on.
Ju-on.
I'm interested to talk to you about the next one.
I am interested to talk about the next one too, because I like this one. So let's do it.
All
right, my turn.
Yes, sir.
A salvage crew discovers a long-lost 1962 passenger ship floating lifeless in a remote region of the Bering Sea, and soon notices that its long-dead inhabitants may still be on board. Holy shit. This was released October 25th, 2002. It's an American supernatural horror film, Ghost Ship, directed by Steve Beck and starring Gabrielle Byrne, Julianne Margulies, and Carl Urban. Dun, 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 dun.
There you go. And a lot of people guessed that. Baby Blue said something that I absolutely agree with. Best opening scene ever.
Oh, it's a great opening scene.
It's fantastic.
I will tell you guys that this poster, they pretty much stole this poster from a 1980 movie called Death Ship.
Yeah.
They use this. This is the same poster. They just stole it from that movie.
Yep. And that I noticed that the first time I saw this poster, I was like, wait a minute.
I did too. I saw it hanging up in the theater. I'm like, they remake Death Ship? And I was like, Ghost Ship. That's got to be a remake of Death Ship. I'm like, it's got to be.
Yeah.
It's not, though.
It is not.
Kind of,
Yeah.
but not really.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's a ship of ghosts, so.
But I will tell you that I am a huge fan of this movie. I think this movie is it's a little comical at times, but it's kind of supposed to be cheesy. It's really well made, and I have always enjoyed this. I saw this in theaters, and I immediately rewatched it in theaters. I liked it so much.
Jerks Productions said this film introduced a lot of people to Mudvayne. Laugh out loud.
It did. Dig. Yeah. It also has an actress always been a big fan of, who is Emily Browning. Emily Browning is a little girl in this, if you guys remember, the little ghost girl. A fantastic actress who was in Sucker Punch, Legend, American Gods. Love her. And I was first introduced to her in this movie, and I thought she was a great little actress. She was not very old in this. I think she was like 14 or something in this, 15. But great movie, though. The opening scene really hooks you. I remember that opening scene. I was like, "Holy shit, this is going to be real."
Wasn't that incredible?
It was incredible.
I recently went back and rewatched this, and
it holds up,
and it still holds up. Yeah. Wasn't this part of the same production company that did 13 Ghosts also?
Yeah, I believe it was. This was a Warner Brothers movie, I'm not mistaken. Warner and Village Roadshow. This is one of those. Well, this is one of those movies that a whole crap ton of people had part to do it, and I think you're thinking. So one of the production people in this was Dark Castle. Dark Castle had their hand in 13 Ghosts, House of Wax, Ghost Ship, Gothica, Orphan, and those are all really similar in style.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. But I was wrong.
Good call. No, you're right, actually. I mean, they all had something to do with it.
Oh, you said they were part of it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Dark Castle was part of this. So
that's what I was thinking. Somebody brought up the fact that it was like a William Castle movie. And,
good call. I never thought of that. That's true. It does feel like a William Castle movie.
Exactly. So, who was that said that? I don't remember who it was, but somebody said that.
It's a good call. Yeah, this is solid William Castle atmospheric horror. I mean, this is great. It's a good call out.
Yep, absolutely.
But this opening scene is so brutal. That opening scene is so brutal and fantastic. It's great.
I wish more movies had opening scenes like that.
You know, it's a great opening scene. One of my favorite opening scenes is a different movie that came out in the 2000s that we'll talk about when we get to it. But, but yeah, I love it. I love this whole concept of this soul collector and this ship, and there's people on here. And I think my favorite scene in this is when the captain appears as a ghost and has that just normal conversation with Gabrielle Byrne, and it's just like they're having a talk. And I'm like, it's such a great scene. It's so well acted and so well shot.
It is.
I'm not saying it's the best screenplay ever. I mean, the screenplay's a little predictable, but that's like a William Castle movie. You know what's going to happen. It's enjoyable. And I'll say that the Scream Factory one they brought out is really good. Came out a few months back. I'd recommend that one over the older one.
Okay, better transfer.
Yeah, they did a new scan of the original negative for that one, so it actually looks a lot better. The first releases on Blu-ray was 12 years ago, and it was basically just a DVD upconvert they threw on a Blu-ray. So,
J.D. Smith, DigiArtist, said something about, he said, Charles must be hinting at House of a Thousand Corpses.
I'm not, but a good guess.
That
I
is
like
a
that one,
great
too.
intro scene.
That's one of my favorites, too.
Yeah.
One of my favorites, too.
Okay. Well, that totally, I'd forgot about House of a Thousand Corpses. It does kind of open up like that, you know.
House of Thousand Corpses, I can't wait till we get to talk about that, because that's a movie that blew the shit out of me, literally.
It blew the shit out of you?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Charles has no more shit. It blew it all out of him.
I remember watching that movie in theaters, House of a Thousand Corpses. I left shitless and sweaty. It was so amazing.
And the poor theater people had to clean all that up. That's terrible.
I remember the theater guy walking there going, "Oh my God, there's shit everywhere."
Yeah.
But hey,
Mr. 80s
no
didn't
shit,
like
man.
it. Womp womp.
No.
He gave it 1 star. I can
1
understand
star.
that. I can get that. I do get that. But you got to admit, man, that opening scene, holy shit, it deserves 5 stars just for that opening scene.
Yeah. If you haven't watched it in a long time, I'd say go back and rewatch. This is a perfect like Friday, Saturday, just sit back and enjoy movie. You know, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay, so that is it
Stephen
for
Bird-
Ghost Ship.
Stephen Bird asked where to get a good copy of. If you're talking about Ghost Ship, the good copy of it is the one Shout Factory actually released. Shout Factory released it in September of last year, 2020, and it's on Amazon. It's like $25, but totally worth it. I think that's one that's going to sell out because that one's been selling really well. It's not streaming anywhere, but if you want to stream it, it's like a $3 rental on Amazon and Vudu. If you want it, I would recommend not renting it and just getting the Shout Factory if you like this movie because it's a great transfer.
And just one more thing before we move on. Chrissy Gilliland said, House of a Thousand Corpses I waited on for years. I feel your pain. I did too. They kept announcing it, and then, Lionsgate dropped it, or I can't remember who it was at first that had it, like Warner Brothers, and then they dropped
Somebody,
it. Rob Zombie just kept pissing people off with that thing.
because he wouldn't edit it.
Yeah.
That's the problem with it. Is he would show them the movie, they'd be like, "Well, this is a great movie you made, but it's never going to get released." And he'd be like, "I don't give a shit. I'm Rob Zombie."
Yeah.
Like,
Release
okay,
it.
Well, we're not going to do that. So have a great day. God bless America. That's
There
what
you go.
they would say to him. All right, guys. Well, we're going out with a bang, and this is Lloyd's. And I'm going to tell you guys that the next one is my favorite one of the year. So,
Well, damn, Charles, 2002 has been a good year. The only one that we can really agree on really sucked was Halloween Resurrection.
Halloween Resurrection
Yeah.
was a great movie, Lloyd.
But this movie
This movie
was like an epic horror film. In every sense of the word, it was an epic. Right?
my eyes were like this the whole movie. I was like this.
Yeah.
It was like that the whole movie. I was like, oh my God.
So, people are already guessing this one.
They know it.
4 weeks after a mysterious, incurable virus spreads throughout the UK, a handful of survivors try to find sanctuary. Released in the UK November 1st, 2002, it's the British post-apocalyptic horror film 28 Days Later, directed by Danny Boyle and starring Cillian Murphy and Naomi Harris.
And I will not call it a zombie movie because it is not a zombie movie.
Yeah. I gotta agree. Yeah, Mr. 80s definitely nailed that. Just for my little brief description that I gave it.
Eduardo's never seen it. Eduardo, no.
Oh, get on it.
it. It's
But
amazing.
Just
Eduardo.
get the version. It's a different version than what everybody else. I'm gonna pull it up and tell y'all what it is. Let's see. Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
What are you drunk?
You know what? This joke is taking too long. this was this,
Are you drunk now?
no. This was gonna be a joke. Every time I type something in, it goes horribly wrong.
Are you talking about that beautiful one that had what's her face in it?
Yeah, this joke is falling on its ass.
No, I know what you're talking about. This
It's
is
the one with Sandra Bullock in it, right?
Sandra Bullock, yeah, directed by Betty Thomas.
Yeah, it's just called 28
fantastic
Days.
version.
So just get the regular version.
That's the original. So 28 Days Later is actually a sequel to 28 Days. 28 Days is a movie with Sandra Bullock and Viggo Mortensen and Dominic West, Steve Buscemi. 28 Days Later is a sequel to that. So
There
trust
you
me on
go.
that.
Okay, I didn't know. I thought they were just different versions. J.D. Smith,
So-
Digi artist, said Lloyd's comedy career started and died in 54 seconds.
Lloyd's one of those guys who stands with the mic and goes, yeah, this one time I went to the store and I bought
So-
some potatoes, but they were broken.
So I was going to tell y'all about this funny story about this movie. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, anyway, it's not that important. 28 Days Later is an epic horror film, period. I don't care if you think they're zombies or what. They kind of look like zombies and act a little bit like zombies, but
They don't die, though.
right.
That's the whole thing about them. They're not dead. They have a
Yes.
disease.
It's
That's why I fight
fantastic.
with my...
This is a great movie, man.
Yeah, this is a great movie, and Danny Boyle is. I'll say I am not a huge Danny Boyle fan. Besides a couple of movies, 28 Days Later, and I guess 3 movies: Trainspotting, 28 Days Later, and then Slumdog. But
Those are all great movies.
they're great movies, but every movie he makes is like different for some reason. Like he doesn't make the same genre.
Right.
They're all very depressing movies in their own different depressing way.
Yeah.
Like, that's what he does.
The
He even made
Slumdog
that movie-
Millionaire didn't end up depressing, did it?
Even like Steve Jobs was
remember how
like
that ended.
depressing. Like Steve Jobs, he directed was depressing movie. You're like, how is this so depressing? It's about Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ. Like, damn, Danny Boyle.
Yeah.
But 20 Days Later was a feat. It was like a phenomenal feat, and that is my favorite movie. I'm very sad that we never got the third movie of this, which they talked about for a long time, which was supposed to be 28 months later. It was supposed to be the third one. Never got it because 28 Weeks Later bombed, even though I liked that one too. But we'll get to that in 2007.
Yep. I liked them both. Let's go ahead and roll the trailer. And oh no, it's not a trailer; it's a poster.
Yeah, I've got a poster. Got a poster for this one. The trailer is great, but every trailer I pulled had way too much music I knew we were going to get hit with, so I wasn't in the mood for it.
There you
I can
go.
only deal with 2 copyrights a week now, guys. That's it.
That's it. That's all we're dealing with.
That's all I deal with is 2 copyrights a week because I love you guys. I'll do 2. Really great movie though. There is an alternate ending to this, which is kind of interesting.
You know what, Charles? It's been years since I've seen this movie, so I probably need to go back. I don't remember the ending exactly.
Yeah, well, this was actually there was a different ending for this shot, and Fox actually attached a different ending to it depending on which region of the world you were in. So
Okay.
there's that.
Well, you know, the first time that I saw it was a Chinese DVD import, so I don't know which version I actually saw the first time.
Really? Yeah, there's a couple of alternate endings in this one. I think there's like 2 or 3. There's I guess we could talk about the alternate endings, but there is the DVD that originally came out actually includes 3 alternate endings. 2 of those endings were filmed, and the third one was only storyboarded. The 2 that were filmed, I don't know. Jim dies at like a hospital in one of them. Jim is like shot and he dies. And
Oh,
that
wait
was
a
the
minute.
one that was
Eduardo says, please, no spoilers, watching after the show.
oh. Well,
Don't listen to us, Eduardo.
all right, I'm not going to ruin it for you, but everything I just said is for an alternate ending that you're not going to see when you watch it. So there's
Okay,
that.
perfect.
I won't ruin the real ending for you. There was a. Needless to say, there was 3 endings shot for this film. One of them storyboarded. Depending on where you lived, you could have seen one of 2 different endings. U.S., we got one ending that was a little more happier, and then depending on the other countries, you got a different ending that was a little sadder. It's very strange, but it's one of the more interesting things that came out of the 2000s from the studio.
Yeah.
Eduardo totally watched this after the movie. This is on Prime Video too, so totally watch this after the movie. I'd love to get your feedback on it if you like it, because it's really a great movie. Really great movie.
It's a fantastic movie, and everybody needs to see it. So yeah, I'm interested in hearing what Eduardo has to say about this too once he watches it. So let us know.
Yeah, this was such you guys watch this movie, you may notice it's shot. It may feel like it's shot weird. That's because Danny Boyle went all out crazy in this movie. He shot this on all the different scenes in this. He shot on either 35 millimeter. He used digital camera. He used home videotape, and he used 8 millimeter camera. And he used all that depending on the scenes and the context it was in, and he put it in. So a lot of people, when they watch this, they say it always feels subtly weird to them. And it's because you're getting thrown so many different formats that your eyes just know something's off and you don't really know what it is. And it really adds to the movie where he shot a lot of stuff in this. So,
Hendershot says, speaking of Boyle, nobody has seen this. But if you like the director, check out Sunshine.
Sunshine is interesting.
Isn't that a remake of a Russian film? Sunshine? Am I thinking of the right movie?
I don't know. Sunshine, I know it was a sci-fi movie about them trying to go like reignite the sun is what it was.
Yeah.
But I guess you've added another one I'd like, because I actually like Sunshine and I forgot about that one. So maybe Danny Boyle's like a 50-50 for me. I guess we'll call him that.
Yeah. I may be wrong about that being a remake. I'm probably thinking of something else, but
I'm going to write that down because I haven't seen Sunshine since I think it came out, which is like 07 or 08. I'm add to my rewatch list.
I've heard a lot about it, but I haven't watched it.
Well, because I'm your sunshine, Lloyd. That's all the sunshine you can handle.
You are my sunshine. And speaking of my sunshine, that is the last movie on the actual list, guys. What we have is our honorable mentions list and the video that we're going to play. But before we do that, let's let everybody know about what you're going to give away tonight, Charles.
I got a copy on Blu-ray of Return of the Living Dead.
Ooh. I don't know about that copy, but it seems like Return of the Living Dead period has become hard to find lately.
I don't know what it is, but it seems to have disappeared a lot of places. But I got a copy of it that's not open. It's brand new.
Yes, and we're going to give that away.
Todd Lewis is yelling for honorable mentions. Todd Lewis doesn't even care what we're giving away.
He doesn't even care.
Todd Lewis is like, I introduced this, and Todd was like, shut up, honorable mentions. I was like, fine.
Well, hey, we got to tease it so you guys will stick around. So
Jesus,
we're teasing the movie. Stick around for that. Charles will give that away when we come back.
I love the cover on this. This one.
It's awesome.
Brains.
It's cool, and I think that's a separate deal too. You can take that off and hang it up on your wall or something.
Yeah, this comes off.
Yeah. All right, let's roll that honorable mention video. What do you think, Charles?
Oh, let's do it. Why not?
All right, here we go.
Oh, that's me and you. What?
That's us. Look at that.
Ooh.
It's Alice. I live in a palace.
Oh, it's cool.
Alice.
More Angela there.
Speaking of Angela, yeah.
She's the best part of it.
That's absolutely true.
Sin never dies.
Oh my God. I love this one, Charles.
I know you do.
It is a fantastic, such a well-made serial killer movie.
I'm a master.
I know. No, I like how it tells this backstory of this character that a lot of people know, and you may not realize, what his backstory was, but it's definitely Marvel Studios Hawkeye.
And then he was Hawkeye, yeah.
Yep.
Dahmer is the one that I was talking about in the beginning that I really like.
I'm sorry, I put Hawkeye in there. I had to.
No, that's fine. That was funny.
Darkness.
Oh, who directed Darkness?
Darkness was fun.
Wasn't that by the guy that did Ginger Snaps?
Yeah, it was. I can't remember who directed though. Was it the same guy?
I'm gonna look it up.
I know it's the same guy who did Record. Rec.
Oh, was it Wreck?
Yeah, he did Wreck.
Yeah, I'm totally off on this. Wame Balagaro.
Yeah, he directed record rec.
That's it.
This is a fun movie. This is.
Oh, Eight-Legged Freaks. I love this movie.
Eight-Legged Freaks.
Wasn't a big fan of this one. It was all right.
It was all right.
Queen of
Yeah.
the Damned.
Come out, wherever you are.
There's your favorite one.
Hendershot's asking about Day Watch and Night Watch. I think that's later on in the 2000s, isn't it?
Daywatch is 2006, 2007.
I thought so, yeah.
Is that a Russian movie too? Daywatch.
I think it is, yeah.
Infants for Supper.
What is this, Charles?
It's a Dracula movie. It's not even so much a movie. This is they shot it like a movie, but it's a ballet production of Dracula, and it's actually a lot of fun.
Huh. I mean, it's Japanese or something?
Kind of. A little bit.
Gotcha. Well, man, 2002 turned out to be one incredible year. I'm actually very surprised, but a lot of great stuff, man.
Man, it was a lot of great stuff, and definitely that's a good year. How many good movies did we have?
Oh, man.
Like,
my goodness.
1,000?
Yeah. What do you mean in this year?
Yeah, too many.
A lot.
Too many good ones.
A
Too
lot
many
of
good
great,
ones.
a lot of great movies. It was fantastic. What a good year, man! That I always love seeing that. The end of the '90s was kind of bumming me out.
End of the 90s was just sad. You know, it was like, God, what's going on with my life? You know, what do I do with my life? Why am I here?
J.D. Smith, DigiArtist, says 2002 had some good movies, but all the honorable mentions were terrible. So how does that even out 2002? I thought there were some great honorable mentions that year.
I like some of those. I mean, we got Hawkeye. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Dahmer's great, man. I love Dahmer. I've already said that.
The mint tip.
I told you guys in the beginning there was enough to do a. It's a good year. I'm gonna go with it.
I think
Darkness
it's a good
is pretty
year
good too. Darkness is pretty good.
Richard just gave us a $5 tip. Thank you very much, Richard.
Richard's so good at giving the tip.
He is. He does it the best.
All right. Well, we got to give away a copy of Return of the Living Dead. Return of the Living Dead.
You went weird again, Charles.
What happened?
Your color. There it is.
What?
You fixed it.
I didn't do anything. I just been sitting here. I really have. I swear.
Yeah, you turned green again. That was weird.
I was pulling up our thing, but it's whatever. All right, guys. So let's get some music.
Return of the Living Dead. You have to come up with the question on this one, Charles. It's all on you.
Let me see.
So Richard said it was a $5 tip, and he said it was the mint tip.
Oh
yeah, minty fresh.
Oh.
And this movie, someone, I think Baby Blue asked earlier if it came with a mint slip. No, but it comes with a cool little art placard that you can take out and put.
Placard.
You can take that out and slide it in your notebook on the front cover so everybody can see it.
I'm going to ask a question. What is the name of the demon that possesses Reagan in The Exorcist? How about that? That's an easy one.
All right, what was it again?
I said, what is the name of the demon that possesses Reagan in The Exorcist?
Ashley Guillory looks like she won. Now,
Ashley!
There are two correct answers. Ashley answered first, and then you got Todd Lewis.
Ashley answered first, though.
Yep. So it was. Go ahead and tell us what it
Pazuzu.
was.
Pazuzu is the ghost. It does go by the alias of Captain Howdy, but Pazuzu is the demon. So Ashley, I'm going to give this to Ashley today.
Yay, Ashley, you won. You're awesome. Woo!
Look, Ashley. Brains. Ashley.
It's all yours. You got to let us know what your
Brains.
address is, though, unless we've got
And
it.
I'll get this
already.
to you. I will get this to you. I will send it to you with a kiss, like I did the rest of the movies to everybody.
That
On
is
Patreon.
right. So let's see. Congratulations on winning that. I do want to mention a couple of things that we have coming up. First of all,
What's
we
up?
have on the screen now,
Oh, he's coming.
Courtney Gaines will be here.
Outlander.
And that will be Saturday, 1:30. He's going to be on the show live. We're going to talk to him. We're going to discuss all kinds of stuff, all of his hit movies, and he's been in quite a few very, very well-known films. Bam.
Yeah, he's in one of Charles's favorite movies, Back to the Future. So
Yes.
I have a Back to the Future problem. If you guys haven't seen my Back to the Future tattoos, there's quite a few. Love me some Courtney though.
That's right. So make sure you tune in this Saturday at 2 p.m. Central. And then we're screening our movie. And Charles has decided what movie we're going to screen already.
Bubba Ho-tep, we're doing it.
Bubba Ho-tep. And that'll be a lot of fun. So
I think for Saturday night, I need to come up with a mint slip drink too. I need to come up with a specially mixed cocktail called the mint slip. I'm gonna make
do
it.
that, you bartender dude, you.
Who's coming though on February the 13th?
February 13th, Frightmare Collectibles will be hosting an appearance by Lisa Wilcox, the star of Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and 5. You'll be able to come up and get your autographs. I guess she's doing photos. I would imagine she's doing photos. I'm not exactly sure, but I don't think she has anything against it. So that will be fun. I love Lisa Wilcox. It's been
We did a
little
great
bit
interview
since
with
we've
her.
seen her.
Yeah, we did a great interview with her a few months back.
We did.
Really nice lady, and looking forward to seeing her.
So am I. So this is a free event. You just have to pay for your autographs and whatever through Lisa. So I'm excited to announce that. That's going to be awesome. And then we've even got more stuff coming up, but we won't tease all of that yet, Charles. Right?
You're such a teaser.
That's right.
You're such a teaser, Lloyd.
Yep, I am. So what else we got?
That's it for right now. We do have a video or a show coming up with Arrow Video that is going to be on Sunday, February the 7th. Not this Sunday, but the following Sunday. We're going to meet with our good friends at Arrow, the ones that we love. We're going to see them, and that's coming up soon. And then next week is going to be 2003, which, just so you guys know, is going to be on Thursday again, right, Lloyd?
Yes. And it's my fault again. I scheduled
Lloyd
something.
hates Wednesdays.
I don't know what's
Lloyd
been
hates
going on
Wednesdays.
with my Wednesdays lately, but everything has been throwing my schedule off. So I think this will be the last time we have to move the show from a Wednesday to a Thursday. So I think we're going to be
I think
okay.
we should, every week, we should just have it on a random day. Like, one day it's going to be Tuesday at like 11 a.m. Be like, all right, guys.
Yeah,
we're here.
just not tell anybody. That's a way to get viewers.
I feel like we had more viewers today. So I don't know if Thursday's better for everybody, because I feel like we had more people watching today. So if Thursday's better, I mean, hell, we can start doing it on Thursdays. It's whatever you guys want.
Yeah, give us your feedback. Let us know if you like Thursdays better. Travis says Thursdays are better. Todd says Wednesday is a better night for him. That's
Whatever's good for everybody.
That's the way our votes always go, Charles. We're like,
Todd said stay on Wednesday. All right, guys. Well, next week we're going to be Thursday again. The following week we'll go back to Wednesday, and we'll see how we feel after that. How about that?
there's a lot of Thursdays. Todd and Chrissy so far are the only ones that aren't good for Wednesdays.
Yeah. Well, we try to do what's best for everybody. So, but I appreciate everybody joining and watching us and throwing us those likes on YouTube. I appreciate that. I don't have to
Yes.
read you guys my book anymore. Congrats to Ashley for winning a copy of Return of the Living Dead.
Yes.
And another shout out to our Patreons who had our Patreon show Sunday. Gave a lot away there. That's all in the mail for you guys. And we should have another Patreon show soon. I think we'll probably do it in the middle of February. We won't wait as long.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
Yeah, they are fun.
Probably going to get feedback from our Patreons if you want us to keep doing our director series. Because we've been doing where we talk about a specific director and their movies. Kind of a retrospective. So if you guys like that, we'll keep doing that. Or we could switch it up. Do something else. Genres, years. I don't care. Whatever you guys want to do.
Well, I think if it ain't broke, why fix it? So
that's what I say.
Let's take that approach, and we'll say that's what we're going to do. We're just going to keep going with what we've always done.
I like it. So I'll put up 3. I always put up 3 directors on our Patreon and let them choose. So we'll see what our 3 are going to be this month.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to that. This has been a fun night. I've really been. I really enjoyed all the movies that were on this list.
It was a great list.
I think it was a winner year. Winner, chicken dinner.
Oh, yeah. 2003, I can already tell you, is going to be a good year, too. So just get ready.
Sweet.
So you better
All
bring
right.
2 pairs of underwear, all right? 2 pairs. Because you're going to have to change during it. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I've changed my underwear 4 times during this show.
Neil McElhaney says, thanks for the show, guys. Thank you for tuning in, Neil. David Dugas says the same. Thank you, David. We appreciate it. Stephen Burt, there are still some directors to cover, although I would like to know more about giallo and other genres. Oh, that.
Why don't we do a giallo show, too? Why not?
That sounds fun. I might have to do a little research on that. I've seen a lot of giallo, but I haven't seen them all.
Yeah, I like orange jello and like strawberry jello.
Yeah.
They're good. So I'm kind of a jello expert. But no, I mean, hell, we can always do 2 Patreon shows. Why not, Lloyd? Why don't we do one where we talk about jello, too?
I love it. More for our Patreons, because you give us so much. We want to give more back too. So maybe we can do that.
Yeah, we can do that. We'll talk about it. Me and Lloyd will discuss in our secret discussion cave.
Boom. We will. What else, Charles? Are we done?
That's it, guys. We hit our 2 hours, which we appreciate you guys joining with us tonight. We love you guys. You guys are awesome. And don't forget to hit the like button, like Eduardo just said. Hit it.
Keep hitting it.
Too.
There's 26 people watching right now, so we should be able to get 8 more people to hit that thumbs up, like button on YouTube. And maybe you could even go after we shut down here. You can make a comment. That would be great too.
I'd love if you guys go make a comment of what your favorite movie was we talked about, or maybe something we missed that you liked. Let us know. I like to hear what you guys think. Good night, everybody. We love you guys. You guys are awesome.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that is it for Frightmare HQ, the 2002 Year in Horror Edition. We had a lot of fun. Thank you for joining us. You've been watching Frightmare HQ. My name is Lloyd Cryer, and I am here with my co-host and extraordinary gentleman. Wait, I'm pointing the wrong way. And your name
I'm
is?
Charles Doze.
Charlie
AKA
Doze.
Carlos Blueberry.
A.K.A. the guy that just smoked a joint.
Whoop.
Is that what you just did? I saw you doing this. I was like, is Charles
No.
just smoking a joint?
That's my David Dugas.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Mighty fine morning we're having here. Would you like a bathtub mint julep, sir?
Absolutely. Yes. All right, guys, that is it. We're going to go ahead and sign out. We've had a blast tonight, and we'll see you again Saturday. Have a good night.
Oh, yeah, for Courtney.
That's right. Peace.